smoke damage.
So
And
I saw your picture and Cindy posted this and in a Facebook, and I was so happy, so
yeah.
happy. That's my second home
Oh, thank you.
from
Thanks, Harka.
and
Thanks.
so it's who was David who came on the rooftop and put on.
Kyle. Yeah,
Oh,
Kyle.
Kyle,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, Kyle and our daughter, our daughter Heather showed up that morning, and so this is yeah. So she was there. She helped. She showed up and put yeah. So put out a fire. So actually, we were told Tuesday night. Well, we weren't told. Everybody evacuated. And then we were under with mandatory evacuation. But she went back at 7 o'clock. We had a neighbor who was there at 6:30, and if it wasn't for both of them, we might have lost. There might have been more houses lost, as there were no fire trucks around, and things were starting to burn right in our street. So no, it's we're very fortunate, but. Yeah, this.
we're we're very happy. We're
Yeah,
praying for you, Don.
yeah. Thanks.
You
So we're gonna probably have to be out of our house for another 4 weeks to 6 weeks. So until the property can be cleaned and the ash gotten rid of and everything. So, but no, I appreciate that. So, are you did you call Cindy on WhatsApp?
Yeah, I called her Cindy in WhatsApp.
Oh, okay,
No,
great.
not
Oh, I'm
WhatsApp.
yeah.
It's a messenger,
Oh, Messenger. Oh, Facebook Messenger.
Facebook Messenger. And
Oh, okay. All right.
so
So,
so where you have to go from your house to?
okay. We're staying at my brother and Cindy's brother's house in Arcadia, which is about 5 miles away.
Okay.
And so we're somewhat close by. So we're going to try and leave here in the next couple of days. And so we have insurance on our house, and the insurance company hopefully will help us find a hotel to stay in for about 4 weeks. And so yeah, we'll need a place to stay for the next 4 to 6 weeks. But so yeah, but hopefully our insurance company will help us find a place. So I'm hoping the prayer request right now is to find a place within the next couple of days. By today's Wednesday, actually tomorrow or Friday, so that we want to be out of my brother's house. We've been here for a week already, and to get into a place where we can stay for about a month.
And if I welcome you, you just fly to Nepal. I will keep you and feed you.
There you go.
You
Yes,
understand it?
absolutely. Maybe that's the best solution.
So I'm very happy to feed you and house you. No worry.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thanks, Harka. Appreciate that. Thank you.
So anyway, so
So,
you have you've been attending the Calvary Chapel, and there were many friends from Galilean, and who do I know? Dave Spake has gone long time ago, and his house is somewhere far, so he's not there.
okay.
And
We actually, we went back, we've been attending Lake Avenue again. And so, yeah, we've been attending Lake. Uh, And so we've been back there since January. We went back, just visited briefly at Calvary Chapel, Monrovia.
okay,
But so yes, we've been at Lake since
good.
January,
Okay, say
a
same
year ago.
Galilean class.
Yes, the Galilean. Yeah, the Galilean class, right. We've been back involved with them,
Wonderful,
yeah.
wonderful. So how is new pastor like in Galilee is? So we will pray for them. Three pastors lost the houses, and I think there's pastor Indian from South was appointed as a senior.
Right, Matthew John.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually had a little bit of a concern because just questions over, kind of concerns over the missions program at Lake Avenue. And so he wanted to kind of cut back on some of the missions. It's a big, long, complicated issue. But actually, it makes me want to get the God factor up and running, and more. So, um, and so yeah, so pray for Matthew. He's got a big job, and pray for clarity on the missions program too, and missionaries.
Okay, but
And Harka, when people think of Altadena, the part that was most horrifically damaged, all the blocks are flattened, was many of them were working poor, who were just renting these homes that were very, very old. Most of the 73% of all the Black owned homes in Altadena burnt down.
wow.
73% of all the businesses burnt down. Altadena had the highest percentage of Black owned businesses, and many of them were just hard-working, wonderful people who were just doing everything they could to make a living, and it's all gone. And the amount of money they give you from, like, if they have insurance, many of them didn't have insurance. The amount of money they give you is not enough to live in California anymore. So it's a horrific tragedy of realizing that most of your neighbors whose homes burnt down will never be able to come back to Altadena. It's a really awful tragedy for people who have almost nothing anyways.
How are they going to build the house, or this is rented actually? That
Many,
insurance.
yeah, many are renters, but many there are homeowners too. But many of the ones we know, are working poor, just barely making their rent. But you see, if new homes are built, they won't be able to afford the rent. They can't stay
Right.
there anymore.
Wow.
So yeah, no. So it's changed forever, but these people who really are displaced, they are displaced. They cannot go back. It's going to be too expensive once it's rebuilt, if it gets rebuilt.
Cindy,
So
there is a big question. Is this natural disaster? Is this God who is what caused?
punishing, yeah. There definitely was a lot of evil going on in LA Basin. I can't say that it was based in Altadena, which, took all the brunt of it, but in Los Angeles County, it's the pornography capital of the world. It's the sex trafficking capital of the world. There's fentanyl is widespread. So drug trafficking. Drug dealing. I can't say it's the capital in that, but it very likely could be close to that. So is there sins? Abortion. Our governor said, "Come to California and have abortion." It is probably some of the biggest proponents. LA is probably one of the biggest proponents of the transgender movement. So are there sins that God could be, saying, "Hey guys, can't do this anymore. I am, raining down my wrath." It could be. We don't know if that God allowed it. We also know that much of it is because of the government was putting their money into the wrong programs. They were putting their money into making sure that the LGBTQ. I don't know if you know that term. Do
Yeah,
you
I
know the
do.
LGBTQ?
I
Yeah.
do.
Okay. Yeah, so much of the money was going into promoting that, much of the money, but it was not going into. They cut the funding for the fire department. So when the city was when Altadena was burning down, there was no fire units in any residential communities at all, none. And we heard that story again and again. The fire department there wasn't any, and they knew that there was going to be a fire ahead of time, because with winds 99 miles per hour, you're going to have a fire. And so they knew, and they did nothing to prepare. The reservoirs were empty. The no fire units were called in to protect the area. The electricity was turned off, so the pumps were dry to the hydrants, but the gas was left on, so that the houses were explosive.
Cindy,
Yeah.
it's really tragic,
Yeah.
and I've been praying, and
Yes. Thank you.
California
Thank you.
hasn't been like
Yeah.
I was there. Many changes
Yes.
happen, and there is
Yes.
a big question about even for internationally. U.S. usually. We look at for Christians, and
Yeah.
there's a big question regarding Hollywood and
Oh
Hollywood
yes. Oh
street.
yes.
And
Yeah.
would you tell us that we may educate our people as well?
I'm sorry.
So Hollywood and areas where how people and all LGBTQI others and so forth, the people live in.
Oh yes. No, that's what I was saying. That Los Angeles is the capital of the world in sex trafficking and promoting the LGBTQ movement. And yeah, one example is no men can be. Men are there's hardly any men in leadership positions, because that would be racist to have men in leadership positions. So most all the leadership positions are women. Now, I'm not to say women can't be good leaders, but there's probably men out there who might have prepared the city better and prepared the fire department better. But yes, the sinfulness of Hollywood is, must just break God's heart on a daily basis. And have we waited and wondered if God was going to rain down his wrath on Hollywood? Absolutely. And, could this be part of it? Absolutely.
I heard Pastor Jack Hibbs speaking about the California governor Democratic parties, and the taxes that were paid from by people is not used for people's good, preparing firewood, safety, and other. Even I was so so amazed how the reservoir were not. Uh, built a water system to protect.
Right.
Right. No,
Yeah,
nothing
no.
has been done.
Yeah, no. There's the preparation was very poor, and it was poor. Yeah, there was just no preparation. There was no, nothing taken.
You think
seriously.
when the Palisades fire is right next to the ocean, but there were no desalination plants anywhere to pump water from the ocean to put out the fires. Absolutely nothing was done to prepare for the fires.
And for now, it's the enemies are happy what's happened there, but we are not happy. People suffer, and we are praying for
Right.
them that the California will come again, build, and we have seen people praying on the street, and they will hopefully they will repent and change their lives.
Yes.
So you are the unique house in Altadena and Ravi's house, so many people will come to you.
Yes, yes. And we pray that we will be the right place for them and that we will be able to bless them. Yes.
And the Lord will send you all the resources to prepare you, to help you, help them to guide and to show them God's love. Thank you very much for picking up Cindy phone and updating us, and we're praying for you.
Oh, thanks, you.
Harka. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Don, and in
You
God
know,
willing.
one last thing. Actually, before I met you guys, there was a man at International Theological Seminary who I met and interviewed. He's an evangelist from Nigeria in West Africa. And so I was talking to him in December. I interviewed him for my radio spots probably 30 years ago, and he called to say hi. So, so Finian Abui. So somehow I'll have to introduce you guys online or something. But Finian has a lot of ministry going in Nigeria and Ghana, in Africa, and I've told him about you guys in Nepal as well. So it's pretty interesting. So
Don, you have been always, you both are always my backbone, my foundations for what I am today, what I'm doing for God's kingdom. And
great.
and I hope, and you will always, whenever I meet, you are always there. So please do whatever you can do in this situation. There may be people who would be very interested to for Nepal. In on the 18th of Saturday evening, will be my wife and myself will be flying to South Africa.
Really?
Yeah, to for a week a ministry, and come back, and so since I studied there, and people are coming to me every day too for a situation in California, and there are 25 one YouTube channel, Christian television, that maybe 25,000 people are watching already.
Okay.
And there is another 3 channels came today, and so they're asking. Like others worlds beside Christian believing world, they think they are kind of like God is punishing California, and but Christian, as a Christian, we are not happy that what's happening. So there are many people are wanted to hear about a situation there, and I told about a story, you and me, how I met the house that Cindy posted, and I'll send you that. It's already very famous. People are very, very thankful for the protections of your house. I told them the story how your houses, your heart, your service for the needy people was rendered, and God preserved that one. And so we're talking about Ravi and Francis' house also in another episode.
Right. Okay, wonderful. Yeah. I think there are things that just came to mind in terms of, like, I know people saying, "Hey, it's God's judgment," because it happened over. The other part from the ocean, toward Hollywood is just immense. But you think of it in Exodus, the Passover. There's always this suffering, I think, when God is going to do something big. So you think, in the Passover in Egypt, when Israel was leaving, there was, all the firstborn of the Egyptians and everybody, were killed. And then you figure when Christ's birth, Herod went and killed, had ordered all the male boys 2 years old, to be put to death. And so I think there's also this, incredible spiritual struggle that happens. And, certainly you've got Israel going into, exile in the Old Testament. So, so it could be that, it's a precursor, it's a, what do you call precursor, or, an event, a foreshadowing, of things to come elsewhere around the world too. Like right at the beginning of birth pangs, that Jesus had. And so I think the other that I've heard Jack Hibbs, explain it is like, it's not even so much that God has to judge, but he just says, okay, this is how you want to live. I'm going to pull my hand back. And so, yeah, where the leadership, of the city doesn't prepare well because they're concerned about other less important matters. And so, yeah, no, I think pray for a whole social change and leadership change in California is really important. And to have, really good people, in charge, and, pray for, just pray for us and our, family, being willing to, continue serving others and, as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Don. And
Sure.
by the way, if you have Reverend Matthew, Pastor Matthew number, I would love to connect him, and please send me if you have it, and we'll keep you in touch, and pray for us, and we'll pray for you, and hope to hear from friends you met from Nigeria there, and we will love to hear from them also.
All right, Harka, will do.
And say hello to our friends in Galilean. And okay, and have a good day, brothers.
All right. Thank you, Harka. You too.
And thank you, Cindy. Bye-bye.
Okay. She's just in the other room, so
Okay,
bye-bye.
okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.